What is going on, guys? Hope everyone is doing well. Got some gameplay of the new Battle of Hannut, which is a grand operations game mode around Panzerstorm and Arras. We have the new night mode to Panzerstorm, which actually isn't all too bad. I was a little bit concerned when I was hearing there's going to be a night mode coming to Panzerstorm. I was a big proponent of it finally coming to the different game modes, but the night mode had me a little bit concerned considering of how poor visibility it has been on the battlefield. But as you can see, when I'm going to get knocked down here in a second, I'm just looking up at the sky and just looking around at the the dark theme that's going on in this map. It's actually pretty pleasant to play on it. Of course, there's not going to be perfect with visibility yet. It's got some work to do still from people posting up in dark alleys and dark areas on the map, but for the most part, I mean, look at the moon, like this is awesome view. You get some burning like fields in the background. Everything really highlights when things are being burnt. So the vehicles that are burning, the shells that land across the field that are burning in the field, it all looks really cool in my opinion. So I think it looks great, and overall I think it actually doesn't play all too bad. Personally, for me though, it's a little bit unfortunate that the night mode is only coming to airborne as far as I'm concerned, and the breakthrough mode, I'm not sure if it's going to have the night mode on it. So right now, breakthrough on Panzerstorm is only available on the Grand Operations game mode, but I'd imagine it'll eventually make its way over to the breakthrough playlist, where if you just want to purely play breakthrough on all of the maps, you can go do that. It's just unfortunate that most likely we won't be seeing the night mode making it to breakthrough, and it will only be a Grand Operations airborne mode that you can experience this on. So I'm not quite sure after this rotation, where right now you can only play this Grand Operations over and over and over again, and once that's done and we have to implement all the other Grand Operations alongside each other, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that. So it is a bit unfortunate that's the case, but it is nice to know at least it's making its way over to breakthrough, because it just allows you to experience the whole map of Panzerstorm. I mean, when you play Panzerstorm on Conquest, who's like me that's just around D, C, and E, and that's all that you really focus on, mainly for infantry players. If you're playing a lot of that, you gotta really be focused around those areas. I mean, you can spread out a little bit onto the side of the map, but really you find yourself just really focused on the center part of the map. It is really cool because it does implement a lot of tank gameplay, which I've been wanting to get to, and this has been a good map to do it on. But really, when you're playing on Conquest, it really has you really spread out. So playing it on Breakthrough, everything's more focused in these one areas. Even though it is crazy, and I understand a lot of people sometimes try to stay away from Breakthrough because it can get really intense when all those 64 players are focused in on those 2 capture points, or I think the very start of Breakthrough, it's just on A, right? So you only have 1 capture zone when you get on Breakthrough to focus on the very start of the map. So it is pretty intense, but at least it allows you to experience the whole map, which is what I really enjoy about Breakthrough. It allows you to experience the whole map, where sometimes Conquest doesn't really focus on some areas of the map. So we were able to hold off the enemy team from planting the final bomb, but they didn't do all too bad. They got 3 out of 4. But now we're over to the breakthrough side of Grand Operations for Panzerstorm, so that is exciting to see. Again, we don't see the night mode carry over, so then again, that's the disappointing part, but we see some of that familiar setting with the kind of like fog and the mist going on here. I am using the new Archer tank. I think a lot of people are enjoying this one. It's pretty beastly. You're just sniping people across the map, especially when you upgrade its cannon. So you guys can check out my video that I did about that if you guys haven't seen it, where I just go over how I upgraded it and just kind of the raw basics of this tank. So it's been pretty fun using it, and it's fun to get on some of the tank gameplay and having a kind of a season for this right now, where I can kind of be focused on playing with tanks. We've had it with our Tides of War. We've had now 2 tanks that have been available, so it's been pretty cool to kind of just focus on that for now. But I'm over here gonna take out this vehicle, pushing its way through. You guys have to let me know if you guys are ever having a hard time capping A at the start of breakthrough for Panzerstorm. For some reason, when I'm on the attacking side, I cannot get past A right now. But when I'm on the defending side, the enemy team's able to get past A, so not sure what's going on here. You guys will have to let me know if you guys have some type of strat that you're doing to cap A or whatnot. It seems like I've done a couple of those too, where I've jumped on one of the small passenger vehicles you can drive around, and I'm doing the kind of almost the exact same thing that player did right there. They went on it and they got hit by a tank, or I'm trying to push like the sides of the map, and I end up just going so fast. When I try to turn, I end up spinning out. So, I mean, there's so many tanks on this map that really, if you're a big tank user, you're like in heaven right now, because this is pretty ideal for you, especially when you're playing on breakthrough where everything can be focused in these one areas. And now that you have a tank, especially on the defending side, it's be sniping people. Like, look at that, snipe people across the map. My teammates get on, shooting at the exact same tank at the exact same time, and just take them out in a matter of seconds, which was pretty cool. Again, that scenery in the background, look at all everything burning. You got the church there. It just looks all awesome, despite it not being in the night mode. And now I'm being attacked by a bunch of tanks. Luckily, now's a good time to be playing with tanks, because one of the Tides of War missions is for you to repair your teammates' vehicle. So it's get a lot of people who are over there repairing you, and they actually do it quite a bit. Actually, I've been noticing a lot, even without Tides of War missions. A lot of people are still like repairing vehicles. I see that happen a good amount, but it's even more when you have these missions going on. So that's pretty nice. So there's a lot of people that have incentives to do this. I was doing this a lot too. I was like running around a ton when I was trying to do the missions for Tides of War, and I was just trying to repair the vehicles, and it was pretty intense actually. So an interesting way to, you know, diversify your gameplay a little bit. So that was somewhat decent, as some of the Tides of War missions have been kind of like so but I think I'm gonna get attacked here a little bit more here in a second. I'm gonna get hit by an airstrike. Yeah, airstrike's gonna hit me. I have barely any life left. I think my teammate is gonna run around, try helping me out here, and then there's gonna be a bunch of enemy players that are going to are pushing me right now, that I think are gonna take out my teammate, but I'm somehow gonna live through this. Yeah, they're gonna start pushing me. Eventually they get sick of you. There's always this happening when you're in the tank. You can be doing well, and then once you start doing well, everyone starts going for you. I think they're gonna take my teammate out, but I couldn't hit him. Again, the archer tank, that mobility with moving with your turret and your cannons can be a little bit of a pain. But I'm able to finish that guy off. It just didn't have enough weapons to take me out. But yeah, that little airstrike there almost got me. But they're able to actually push up. I end up getting killed in that tank. And I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna try to stop them from getting the last sector way too late. And oh my god, I am so far away from getting out of this area where you're just highlighted and let the whole enemy team know where you're at. This open field, I'm somehow going to make it through all this. This is insane right here. I'm just pushing through. I'm like trying to swap, wishing I can just move to me sprinting with no weapon on, playing too much of Apex Legends, where I'm hoping I can just sprint faster without holding my weapon out. But I'm over here, I'm like, wow, I get down to 1 health, and I'm able to get to the supply station and get my health up. Even a plane comes by and misses me. That was one of the most intense things I think I've experienced so far in the battlefield, so that was pretty insane. Somehow was actually able to make it out of that. That was pretty crazy. Wow, you know, Panzerstorm, there's so much of the open field, and that's the time right there. I actually think it, you know, it plays really well, other than like Conquest, where it's kind of like, you know, you can experience that a little bit too much. So to have that like only happen like one time in this game, I think it's a good balance actually, because you know, you don't want to not experience the openness of the map, but at the same time you kind of do. So I think that was really cool. But now we're gonna move over to the actual final part, which is harass with Rush. 64-player Rush. It's pretty crazy, huh? I think it's, personally for me, would rather have Rush than playing Conquest, because I think it just focuses a little bit more on each individual place on the map and brings more of that kind of grand operation thing where you're trying to push up and, you know, you're being pushed back and you're trying to push up, and that kind of back and forth type of gameplay style. I just feel like it just suits grand operations better. You guys let me know about that. I mean, it is nice to kind of mix up, have Conquest in it, but I'd rather kind of just play Conquest off the side and just kind of enjoy, you know, the whole, you know, spread out of the map, being everything all at once, rather than, you know, it being these minute sectors one at a time and working your way up. I think that works kind of better for grand operations, but that's just me. I'm not against Conquest. I just think Conquest, I'm not sure it plays all too well, especially when Conquest Assault comes in. I'm just not a fan of Conquest Assault at all. So, but I'm over here with the tank again, blasting more of, especially when I see Tiger tanks pushing up. Like, when I see Tiger tanks pushing up and I know that they're kind of hesitant and I'm getting the jump on them and they want to move back, it's basically game over for them. So, this Tiger tank's a little bit of a pain because they got all that armor. But when you see them and they're like unsure, they don't want to be pushing up anymore, it's pretty interesting. Now, tell me if I'm hitting any shots on this player right here. Blasting that player, can't hit him, I guess, and he's gonna like run across. I guess I'm missing. I guess the vehicle is just in the way, and I just have a terrible aim out here in the open. I could have sworn I was hitting him. I wasn't sure if that's registering or not. You know, as Battlefield's been progressing, I'm hoping the bugs start getting less and less. We do have that kind of flickering death bug that if you guys have seen, when you die, your screen starts flickering. The devs have addressed that already and said that they are planning on fixing that in their next update. But it seems something's wrong with the turret as well too. So pretty sure there's a bug with the turret. You have to let me know if you experience the same thing too. I'm getting flanked here from the side from another tank, putting so much fire onto them, and I'm able to push out here at the last second. Somehow have my teammates get that tank going after me. So it's a pretty epic hardcore stuff going on here. I was actually not in this game mode able to finally play Final Stand on Arras. The attacking team didn't make it to the final flag, so I think that might have triggered it and caused Final Stand to happen. So I actually was able to experience that. Of course, I die instantly. I think I'm the first person to die when when I did Final Stand. Again, it wasn't on this grand operation I was playing on here right now. I played on another one, but hey, finally able to experience a little bit of Final Stand. So that was pretty cool, I guess. It was the first time since Battlefield's been out. I haven't been playing a lot of grand operations, so that was probably part of it. But yes, Final Stand is still there, and you can experience that if you guys like. But that is it for you guys today. Feel free to let me know what you guys think about this new Grand Operations Battle of Hannut in the comments below. But I appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later.